Hey everyone, lumber prices are absolutely crashing, and since it's a major component of what Home Depot sells, I thought I'd make a video connecting what it could mean to Home Depot stock investors. So first I'll take a look at lumber prices over the last couple of years, and then I'll take a look at how it's impacting Home Depot stock. So stay tuned and let's begin. So what I have pulled up here is lumber prices per US dollar per 1,000 board feet. And this is prices going back all the way to January of 2020. And this $344 price is what it's trading for right now. But look at this huge price decline. It's currently trading at $344. It wasn't too long ago in March of 2022, it was up at $1,400 per thousand square feet. And if you go back to the previous peak around May of 2021, it was trading all the way near $1,700 per 1,000 board feet. So the price of lumber has fallen considerably off its highs. Of course, remember at the onset of the pandemic, lumber prices fell initially because people were concerned that construction activity demand for lumber would crash. But what actually ended up happening was that demand for lumber soared. People took on home improvement projects with enthusiasm, and that caused lumber prices to soar because, in the initial reaction, uh, producers pulled back on production of lumber because they were afraid that demand was going to fall. But the opposite ended up happening, and the difference between the forecast and what actually ended up happening created this surge in lumber prices, and then supply chain shortages continued and prices remained elevated for a long time. But now lumber prices are crashing all the way down to $344, down from a peak closer to $1,700. So let's look at how that's impacting Home Depot. So Home Depot announced its latest financial results on May 16th, and the world's largest home improvement retailer reported sales of 37.3 billion, which was a decrease of 4.2% from the first quarter last year. That was less than what Home Depot was expecting. And management, the CEO, says that their sales for the quarter were below expectations, primarily driven by lumber deflation. Primarily driven by lumber deflation. Now, I'll let you all know Home Depot's pricing strategy is very consumer friendly. When prices go down on commodities, Home Depot is quick to lower prices for consumers. So right when they see these lumber prices start coming down, Home Depot lowers prices in its stores for consumers. On the flip side, when prices go up, Home Depot is slow to raise prices on consumers. You see that? So they're slow to raise prices, but they're quick to drop prices. So that's very consumer friendly, not so much for investors, right? Because that works against profit margins, but that's good for consumer loyalty and it builds consumer trust. So now that lumber prices have been falling, Home Depot has lowered prices, and that's leading to the significant the revenue decrease year over year. So looking at the rest of 2023, management is saying given the negative impact in the first quarter from lumber deflation, we're going to lower our guidance for the year. So we don't think this is going to change, and we're going to lower our forecast for the year. And I'm going to have one more thing to say about that. Stay tuned for a minute here. Now management is saying that sales are going to fall between 2 and 5% compared to last year. So a sales decrease. Home Depot, remember, for the last decade has grown revenue at about a compound annual growth rate of around 8%. So a sales decrease is out of character for Home Depot. They're also forecasting diluted earnings per share to decline by between 7 to 13%. So an earnings per share decline of 10% at the midpoint. Again, Home Depot is usually increasing earnings per share significantly year over year. So these are huge differences between what Home Depot is used to. Now let me go back to the outlook for the year. Previously, over the last several quarters, if we look back, let's say since the outbreak, the last, let's say 8 quarters, lumber prices have been fluctuating wildly over the last 2 years, right? Yes, they peaked at 1700, but they've been fluctuating more so than usual. Home Depot previously observed when prices went down for lumber, people took on more project, right? It increased demand for lumber because if you were thinking about doing something that required a lot of lumber and you saw the price was at 1700, you may put that project on pause or delay. This time it looks like even though the price has fallen, it doesn't look like consumer demand for projects increased. It doesn't look like Home Depot had that bounce up in projects. So it looks like the price decrease in lumber just meant that people were spending less money at Home Depot, because if you had a project to do and you needed a certain amount of lumber to complete the project, you went in to buy that amount of lumber, you noticed the price was lower, so you paid less, and that's why Home Depot sales declined, and Home Depot didn't notice a bounce up in increase in demand for new projects. So that's how the lower falling lumber prices are impacting Home Depot right now. Now, Home Depot stock investors are hoping that in the second quarter there's a bounce, there's an increase in demand as consumers notice a decrease in lumber prices. I'm actually considering a new project because lumber prices are significantly lower. I put that project on pause a year and a half ago. Now I'm considering it again because the price is more favorable. Home Depot is hoping there's more individuals like myself who are going to consider new projects again. All right, but that's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.